Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 1, Episode The Battle on Blu-ray. This is day 11 of 30 of your 30 days of Star Trek reviews provided by me. So let's do this thing. You know it's going to be a good time if Ferengi are involved. I always like when it shows inside of people's quarters, and so here we have Captain Picard's quarters, which are very lavish and tasteful and classic. Look at all this cool old stuff in there.
Stand by, Enterprise.
See Picard reading an actual book, just because he's such an educated and cultured man. So this episode should be called The Battle That Happened 9 years ago, and you don't see it. Here we get another glimpse into the idealistic future of the 21st century Federation lifestyle. And you have to remember that not everyone is living like the Federation. Like in the last episode where Riker says, or 2 episodes ago where Riker says they don't eat meat anymore. It's like, yeah, members of the Federation don't. Anyway, so here's how we learn a little bit about headaches in the future. So here's some future exposition world building about headaches.
There's an awful lot of effort for something as simple as a headache.
As simple? You should not have a headache unless there's something wrong, sir. It may be true that headaches were once quite common. That was in the days before the brain was charted, before we understood the nature of pain, when we were suffering from things such as the common cold.
The doc gave me a pill and I grew a new kidney. Yeah, if only it was like that. Man, no colds, no headaches. I think I have both right now. That'd be awesome to not ever get a migraine again or anything like that. So it's cool. This show is so comforting to watch because they talk about how everything, like they've like solved all the stuff that just bugs us all the time. And then we get to watch them in their tight space suits solving space problems. Here we have little baby space Mozart, Wesley Crusher, debuting one of his most famous little sweaters.
Wesley, you've got something to report.
If you'll scan heading 4 for mark 163, you'll find intruder alert, sir.
Notice that the stripes on his, I'm going to call this his uniform. I think it's his acting ensign uniform before he's actually commissioned. But notice how the stripes are the colors of the different departments. You've got the blue, gold, and red. Very interesting. So we're going to see him wear that a lot. And here we have this little guy crawling around on the floor while I'm making this video. Making cute noises. We're going to see the Ferengi's cool twirly transporter along with their the little Ferengi dance that they do once they show up. Look at these guys. They're all like...
Welcome in peace to the Enterprise, Damon Bach.
It is our pleasure, Captain Picard.
Twitchy they are.
Might I introduce my first officer?
Data.
There's another comment
Counselor
on
Troy.
We have
females.
heard that you use females. Clothed females. Most interesting.
They are that, sir.
It's like, I guess we just get to watch Troy be made uncomfortable in every single episode. Alright, so the Ferengis are gifting a Constellation-class starship to Captain Picard.
It is about the battle I mentioned, Captain. A gift in honor of that occasion. That ship closely.
Magnify, please. It sounds important.
As
Alright. Look at this thing.
It's the Stargazer.
So there it is. It's the Stargazer. They said it's Constellation class. And then I was having a nerd heart attack in my brain because I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't the original Enterprise Constellation class? What's going on? And then I was like, nope. The original Enterprise was Constitution class. And this is Constellation class. I was a little worried that they were having them both be the same class. And I was like, come on, Star Trek. But they got it right. I just double checked them. They got it right, though. So another interesting thing about his old ship, the Stargazer, is that normally it's on display in his office. It's like a little like light-colored version, like it's all the same color. And it's on display in his office. But in this episode, there's something different there. Here's a cool profile shot of said Stargazer.
Captain's log supplemental. Bach and his officers have returned to
Look
their
at
vessel, inviting us now to officially take possession of the Stargazer.
So they go aboard the Stargazer, and here's a cool little detail. The chairs are like the same chairs from the original movies. All right, here's another shot in Picard's quarters. And look at this.
Well, I knew, Captain.
Look what's behind them.
Something unusual has definitely been happening.
What those flowers are called.
say the obvious is always a revelation.
Those are stargazers. Get it? Because the Stargazer, it's the whole point of the episode. Get it? Did you see Stargazer flowers? I used to work at a flower shop, so I know that. Also, Google exists. Now we're going to see the origin of Picard's headaches. This little bad boy. Let's look into that a little bit more. All right, check it out. It's called a thought maker. This is the lore. Outlawed Ferengi mind control device transmits signals that implant sensory experiences and triggers emotions and memories. That's definitely what it's been doing. But look at what it does in the game. So you can play it as an interrupt card. You get to look at their deck and then rearrange it. That's actually pretty devastating because in the Star Trek card game, your deck doesn't like circulate a lot. It's kind of like in Magic where it just slowly, like you better hope your shuffle's good so that all the good stuff isn't stuck at the bottom. So that card actually that would really suck to have that done to you. Someone can take 10 seconds and hurry and rearrange your deck. Anyway, so I like when the theme of the object or theme of the episode makes its way into the gameplay mechanics. I like that in any game. Because in the episode, the thought maker is essentially controlling Picard and limiting him. So I think that card perfectly works thematically. All right, while we're looking at cards, check this out. The Stargazer, captained by Jean-Luc Picard on historic 22-year mission of exploration. Thought destroyed in 2355 at that battle until returned by that dude. 22-year mission? Man, they don't get a 5-year... Man, no wonder Picard's like gray-haired and bald. And here's Jack Crusher, Beverly's husband, who also served on the Stargazer with Picard. So speaking of people's cabins in Star Trek, Picard is about to go check out his cabin from when he was on the Stargazer because they just had to abandon it, but I guess it's still intact. And let's see what he finds in there.
I'm going to look at my old cabin.
That's a cool shot. Look at this. Of course, it's Picard. So what do you see? Books, things, old-style uniforms, clear plaques, but also that naughty little thought maker's in there. So my super mature adult wife just pointed this out. Look at Riker's bottom.
What is it, Data?
It looks like he's wearing chaps with no bottom. But it's just the chair. But it totally looks like his little bum in there with little chaps on the sides. And here I am trying to be professional and serious, and she goes and points that out. All right, so an interesting thing about the captain's office, what do they call it? His ready room? Other than this 80s hair and miniskirt and these boots are made for walking in the background. So normally there's a model, like I said earlier, there's a model of the Stargazer in his ready room. But look at what they switched it out for this episode. I think that's interesting. Look at this. He's going to walk by it where it normally is.
You are looking better, sir.
Look right there. See what that is? That is the Enterprise A, or the refitted Enterprise. They both kind of look the same. But normally the Stargazer's right there. So for the Stargazer episode, they switched it for the Enterprise. How interesting. All right, so this part's pretty awesome. So we get to see visually what the Picard maneuver looks like. So the Picard maneuver is when somebody warps close to another ship and then fires at them from close up. But in that short time from when they warp from here to here, the opposing ship sees two ships, and then their targeting is confused. So because Riker, is aware of the Picard maneuver, he gets Data to come up with a counter. Anyway, it's visually really cool. Here we go.
Aye. Lock on tractor beam.
Yeah. Picard maneuver. It's fun in Star Trek to see how many maneuvers have a name. So later you get the Riker maneuver. I think there's a Kirk one. Anyway, so it's cool to see these cool spicy little space tactical things get named after the people who did them. Okay, perhaps the highlight of this entire episode, where Picard is going to use one of these little beauties, little tiny pocket phaser. My friend made this and eventually gave it to me, so there you go. If you're watching, here's your phaser you used to kill me a lot with. Still in great working order, but Picard's about to use one to create the coolest part of this whole episode because of a certain stunt that happens. I'll show you why. So bad. Look at his head. Okay, we're gonna watch the good captain flying through the air. I mean, he probably could have stood further back to shoot that, just saying, but watch this. Look at his head. So this is Picard, mind you. Here he goes. Oh, that's going really slow. Alright, maybe I should push it again. Go a little quicker. Here he goes. Flying through the air. Moving. Head's not in frame. His head comes in the corner of the frame right here. This guy. Full head of hair. Anyway, definitely not Jean-Luc. Let's get another shot at that little mini phaser. So here's another shot after he gets up after blowing the thing up. But look at, I don't know if you can see it on here, but the phaser has tiny little green lights in it.
Spock,
Look at that.
removed from command, sir, and
Isn't that
placed
cool?
under guard for his act of personal vengeance.
Show has the best
Seems
props
there was
ever.
no profit.
Okay, we are about to get the moral of the episode. Well, one of the morals. Besides just sheer entertainment. But listen to this. So he's talking about how the Ferengi first officer took their captain into custody because he was not profitable, which is very important for Ferengis.
Where is Spock? Removed from command, sir, and placed under guard for his act of personal vengeance. Seems there was no profit in it.
In revenge, there never is.
Ah, very nice. In revenge, there's never profit, unless there is. But there's not moral profit, unless there is. Anyway, the point is, revenge is bad usually. So there's your moral. This has been day 11 of 30 in my 30 days of Star Trek review. So thank you. And again, Star Trek Next Generation is best enjoyed on the Blu-ray. It looks incredible. It sounds great. And it's better than streaming. And plus, as it moves around from platform to platform, you get to keep it. You don't have to chase it around. Anyway, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. It's always fun to see the Ferengi in action. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.